All right. Good afternoon, actually. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are doing well today. Let me get my video on. All right, great. So I hope everybody's doing well and staying blessed and safe during these times. So today I'd just like to welcome you all to the Jenga Boss final pitch and graduation for 2020 section of the Arielle for Africa Corporate Leadership. My name is Blessings Olule and I'll be a moderator today, and I'll be assisted by the fantastic Edith and Farouz, the co-founders of Arielle for Africa. So I hope you all have been prepared for today. We have had a fantastic 6 weeks working with all these participants and CEOs and C-suite roles, and they have done a fantastic job. So today we are here to, let me get to my next slide. We are here to basically round up the whole competition of the Jenga Boss 2020 and to follow on for what we concluded on in November. So in November, we had the hackathon where they presented, the teams presented their initial ideas to the judges, and we are here again 6 weeks later with their business plans, a more developed business idea, which they are now going to convince the judges whether this is something that they can actually execute into an actual business in a whole entirety. So today's agenda is we'll be meeting with the judges, we'll have the final pitches, deliberations, results. We'll also have testimonials from a select few of the participants during Jenga Boss, basically explaining what their experience was like, how they have developed over the time period that they've been working over the 6 weeks, what was the changes they experienced from the hackathon up until the final pitch today. And then we will conclude with the graduation and announcing the winners. And that will be all for today. So what I'd like to do next is meet the judges. So from what I can see, we have Mamoroke, we have Paolo. We should be expecting another two, which is just eBay and Edwin Okoye. But as we are here right now, let's just introduce Mamoroke. If you could give them a little insight to yourself, like a quick recap of who you are, what you're about, that would be great. And any advice you may have for the participants before they go into the final pitch, that would be fantastic.
Thank you, Blessing, and good morning. I suppose for me, still morning in South Africa. We got good afternoon to everybody. What an exciting day. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's pitch. Final pitch, we were there in November, and it will be quite exciting to see the progress that everybody has made. By profession, I'm a CASA. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I qualified 20 years ago. I run my own business called My CFO, and my CFO is CFO for entrepreneurs and SMEs in South Africa. And our clients are usually from our side either entrepreneurs who have started their business and are looking to create value and wealth or build generational legacies. And then on the other hand, we also, from our context in South Africa, with the Enterprise Development Initiative, we then also help corporate SA to develop a solution around enterprise development. We have our clients, one of our big clients would be ABSA, the bank, and some of the financial services, insurance businesses, and PwC, which is an auditing firm. So that's where we play at the moment. And then the others would be individual entrepreneurs that have taken up our services. And yeah, it's an exciting space to be in, because we believe that what everybody's doing, even what you as a team you're doing, is part of encouraging entrepreneurship and also building the necessary skill set to create businesses of tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. From a perspective of advice, I suppose for today, what's important is to view us as judges as potential investors who are listening in, and we will be hearing out whether you would have considered all the issues that are needed to be able to convince me to put my money into the business. I think that would be the message or the guidance that one will give to the different businesses that are going to present today. On that note, then I will conclude there.
Thank you so much, Maroke. So now we'll move on to Just Ewe. I've just seen her join the Zoom call. Hi, Just Ewe. If you could just do quite similarly to what Maroke just did, was give a short, brief understanding of who you are, what you're about, and any advice you may have to the participants who are just about to present their final pitch to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Just Ewe. Thank you so much for joining the call.
Okay, thank you very much for having me today. So I just want to say that you are at this stage goes a long way to show that as an entrepreneur, you, to a very large extent, know what it is you need to put in place to be able to run a business. And whatever happens here today, you are not going to abandon the business plan, the business idea. You are going to look for the minimum viable product and start anyway, because irrespective of whether you win or not, Africa needs the solution that you carry. And one of the things I like to say to a lot of startup entrepreneurs is no matter how big that idea is, there's always a small version of that idea. So start with that small one, leverage a lot of collaborations. If there are existing businesses that have those models, go ahead and as much as possible, incorporate what it is that you have in the way of collaborating with those people so that you can at least take your product to market. I wish every one of us here today a fantastic day. I don't want to say I wish you luck because it's not luck, but it's going to be a fantastic ride. And I look forward to seeing all businesses who have pitched here today do fantastic stuff on the continent of Africa. Well done.
Thank you so much, Just Ewe. Now we will move on to Paolo. Hi, Paolo. It's quite similar to what we've just done and completed. Please, could you just give us a little insight to who you are, what you're about, where you work, and any advice you may have for the finalists that we have today who will be pitching their ideas to you?
Hello, everyone. Very excited to be here, and thank you for the invite. I'm part of Blue Brothers Holding. We are partners with Arielle, and I also work in Austin as a quality engineer. So I'm in Austin, big time zone difference. Really excited to be here. And I say my advice for today is to really be clear about what you're doing. And this is the minimum, because if I cannot understand it, also your customers cannot understand it. And for the future, I'd say always be able to reinvent yourselves and listen to your customers.
Thank you so much, Paolo. All right, thank you so much to the judges. So now what we'll do is we'll go into the final pitches. So I'm going to hand over to Fareed, who will give a little insight into what that's all about, what we'll be seeing from the teams and what we expect from them. All right, Fareed, let me hand over to you.
All right, I have a really new computer and I'm trying to learn how to use it. I was trying to find where to find Zoom again. So thank you very much, all of our judges, for being here today with us. I know for some of you it's super early. For some of you it's at the midday, but we are very excited to have you with us here today. And I would also like to say congratulations to all our teams who have worked tirelessly throughout the 6-week program to make it happen. for their team, and they have done a very good job. All of them have submitted their business plan reports. All of them, they have submitted as well their pitch deck this morning, and now it's only up to it's just the final round of competition of like pitching their business idea and really putting it out there to see if any of our judges or our potential investors would like to invest and pursue with them. So I'll quickly just run through the kind of rules and of the judging rules and how things will work and how the pitching will go. It will be similar. So for all the judges that were with us in the last round, it will be similar in terms of the pitching. So we will have each team will have about 10 to 11 minutes, where 6 minutes will be to pitch their business idea. And then the remaining 4 to 5 minutes will be up to the judges to ask any questions to the pitching team. It is up to the team to choose whether they want to, whether one person to present, or whether the team presents however they want, 2 or 3 at a time. And this has been already communicated to our teams, and I think they should be ready by now, who is ready to pitch and who's not. Up to our judges, I will ask you to really, really grill them and ask them the right questions so that they are able to be given the last chance within the questions to put it out there for you if this is the right business idea or not. And in regards to the pitch, to a judging, all of our judges, you must have received this morning an email from me. I apologize for this to be sent very late, but it has been a very inconvenient day yesterday, and trying to collect all the necessary informations for you from all over the place and making it happen with some technical difficulties. But let me know, you should have it in your email. That judge guide is what you will be using to actually deliberate on the pitches today, but not only pitching, but as well the business plan report. I have already sent a business plan report 2 days ago to each of the judges. So if you have not received it over your email, please do let me know, because you will be assessing the teams on the business plan report as well as the pitch of today. Can someone mute? I think someone has unmuted themselves loud. So how will it work? I have already broken down this on the judge guide for the judges to see and read. But basically, take out your judge guide. There are literally 3 steps. Before that, I would like to say that the teams are going to be judged not only on the final pitch of today, but on 3 key areas. The first one is, of course, the pitch of today, which will account for 40% of the total point of the 100 points. So it will be out of 100, and the team with the highest cumulative point out of 100 will be the winning team. So 40% of that 100 will account for the pitch today. The 20% will account for the business plan report today. So the pitch and the business plan report is up to the judges to assign the percentage to the team. So I hope our judges have already read through the business plan reports that have already been sent, and then the pitches for today. And the last judging criteria that we thought was very necessary to include was the overall mentors assessment that has been done on each of the team's work. And this assessment has been done on 2 levels. One on individual level, because each of these team members have been trained individually within their respective roles as MDs, as CFOs, CMOs, CBDOs, and COOs. So we've tried to assess them on that and grade them and really put that contribution of those individuals into their final point. And on a team level as well, there are 3 teams, and each team were challenged to meet twice a week, where they work together, bring everything they've learned individually together, and build the final business idea. And the overall assessment of all the mentors and the feedback that we have. So the holistic assessment has been given a 40% of the final point. So out of that 100. This I have explained it, broken down in the judge guide. You can read it through later or throughout the program right now. But I will just, that's how it's going to work. So the 3 steps are, first, you have to, step one is you have to look at the selection criteria guide that I have included under that specific guide. These 3 steps are broken down. So if you open the guide with me, this is for the judges, you will really understand what I'm talking about. So you will be grading the teams based on this. Step 1, you will find the selection criteria guide, which you will be using to rate the pitch of each team. Once you have complete, you are then expected to proceed to step 2, where you will assign the overall percentage on the pitch as well as the business plan report. Kindly do this by completing table 1, entitled Final Assessment Scale, attached below. This you will do during deliberation. Step 3 will be to select the winning team based on the final cumulative point of these 3 key areas. This is it all. Like I think it's I've tried to explain it as clearly as I could. But does any of the judges have questions before we proceed into our pitching? Okay, I'm assuming that's a no. I hope you have your judge guide open and ready as pitching will then start. So I will give it away to Blessings, and good luck to all the teams.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Fareed. So one last thing before we begin the pitches. Teams will have 5 minutes to present and 5 minutes only. So once that 5 minutes is up, we will mute whoever is presenting the slides at that time. So please, teams, please stay within the 5 minutes and try get through as much as possible through all your slides. Sorry, give me a second. And okay, great. Also, lastly, in regards to the judges, we will allocate around maybe 10 to 15 minutes per team for you to give your feedback and to have a Q&A session straight after, but we need to stick to those times as much as possible so that we don't run over. If we can do that, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much again. So now what we'll do is start with the pitches. So the first team we'll start off is team 1. So if team 1, let me quickly stop sharing so you are able to share. If I believe it's Faith.
Yes.
Great. All right. You should be able to share now. So feel free to share. And if you have any problems, I do have all the slide decks with me over here. So if you need me to share, just let me know.
Perfect. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Thank you. So for the past 8 years, Mama Njeri has been depending on sales from her grocery stall to meet her day-to-day expenses and support her family. Her normal day would start at 4 a.m., where she would make her way to the fresh produce market to replenish her stock, and later open her stall at 6 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m., selling to her usual walk-in customers like myself from the nearby households. Now, things took a turn. I'm not about to move the slides.
Is there any way towards the bottom? Yeah.
There.
All right.
So things took a turn for the worst at the start of the year with the onset of stringent containment protocols due to COVID-19. And consequently, the number of walk-in customers at her store significantly reduced, leading to the plummeting of her sales and profit margins. She is not alone. This is the plight of thousands of other grocery vendors in urban dwellings. And as a consumer on the other end, I resorted to online solutions for groceries, which proved expensive and unreliable due to longer wait times. I could not get Mama Njeri online to order my fresh supply of groceries. Speaking to her and many others of her kind, it was evident that their online absence was largely attributed to limited digital access. Now, considering this, in such a time when the world is called to reimagine itself, we at MSurvey hope to partner with Trigger Foods and Cherry Black Foundation to bridge this gap by offering an integrated solution of smartphone financing and a multi-vendor e-commerce platform from a Manjari and thousands of her kind. We are giving her the power in her hands to get access to a larger online market and to enable her to keep accurate financial records and also encourage a savings culture. And on the other hand, we enable the grocery consumer to order fresh groceries from their preferred vendor and have the same delivered at their convenience within a 3-kilometer range. And with that, we are enabling the underemployed youth to earn an extra coin through deliveries. And in doing this, we are tapping into a market of over 12.7 million consumers in urban dwellings and well over 500,000 grocery vendors, with a total serviceable obtainable market of over 100,000 in the first year alone. Now, to get the smartphones, the customer is verified and pays a 20% deposit, then takes the phone with the installed platform to complete the remainder of the amount in the next 6 months. So we are not alone in this market, but what differentiates us is that we provide an integrated solution that incorporates smartphone financing in a multi-vendor e-commerce platform, which awards loyalty points that can be redeemed to offset the smartphone loans. Also, by targeting the untapped bottom of the pyramid women, we are creating a positive social impact while generating revenue. We intend to use a one-on-one approach of sales agents in marketplaces to meet the vendors and social media platform advertisements to reach the consumers. And for a start, we plan to have 4 income streams. The first one being interest on the financed smartphones, and then a 10% commissions on the sales on the mServi platform, then a one-off registration fee for vendors joining the platform who have not taken our smartphone financing products, and also advertisements on the platform. Our financial projections are shown in this slide, where we project to break even in our 3rd year of operations. So we intend to start our operations in Q1 of 2021 and launch the platform by Q3 of the same year. We are working to scale our model to B2B and expand our operations to other East African countries, such as Uganda, by 2025. Now, this will only be made possible by the amazing mServi team with over 15 years of combined experience in the fields of entrepreneurship, legal, and finance. And in light of this, we are requesting for 11 million Kenyan shillings to provide a 1-year runway for mServi. And a major chunk of this will go towards phone purchases, marketing, and company setup. So thank you, and we welcome any questions that you may be having.
Wow, wow, wow. Well done, Faith. Well done, Team One. So what we'll now do is move on to the judges' Q&A and feedback. So judges, take the stage.
Okay, I can go then. Thank you so much for the presentation. I really liked it. My questions are, can you go back to the time slide? So are you starting to sell the smartphones before you provide the store, right?
Yes.
Okay. How are you gonna sell that idea to your customers? So you're selling the smartphone first. Why should they buy at that time and not wait while they have the platform?
So for a start, we thought it would be really wise, since already there is a great need for these smartphones in our country. It would be really important to start branding our company initially, so that when even we launch the platform already, we already have some good grounding on this.
Okay. I have other questions, but I let also the other judges if they have others.
Well done, Team One. My concern is the people who are the grocery sellers, especially in Africa, are people who are not very technological savvy. You know what I mean? We are
Yes.
people who are not very digitally informed. So why would they want to accept a phone to trade online? How would they manage that and then the logistics of the actual product? What plan do you have in between processing orders and actual logistics of the items? Except, of course, your company is taking charge of logistics, because these grocery sellers in their entire plan have never done logistics. So if you leave logistics to them, there's already a customer experience gap that you're going to have, if you know what I mean. So do you have plans for logistics so that you can take that off the people who are not even technologically savvy to handle phones and process orders, let alone handle logistics? What plans do you have here so that both the seller, which is the grocery seller, and the end user have a seamless experience?
Well, thank you for that question. So already we have a plan for that. While we are selling to this particular population, we are going to empower them with digital skills. So we're going to teach them slowly by slowly how to use this platform. And even when we are selling the idea to them, we already show them how they're going to use them. And then for the seamless transition, we already have a plan for that, where we will have delivery persons who are the underemployed youths in our societies doing the deliveries from the consumer, from the vendor, sorry, to the consumer. However, to just go deeper into that, we intend to use virtual banking for this, so that the grocery vendor is willing to let go their produce to the consumer who already has paid, although they have not received the cash already. So we are aiming at using virtual banking to ensure accountability among all the supply chains.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Mine is actually a comment, not necessarily a question. And because some of the questions have been asked by my fellow judges, I think there's a need for you to go back to the business plan, and your presentation tells a story better than your business plan. So you just need to go back and see how you present the challenge that has been asked around the market. Because what you're doing is you are trying to connect the vendor and a consumer, and you're creating a market with an underlying technology capabilities.
Yes.
That I'm understanding your business correctly, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
so when just go back to the business plan and try to see how you touch on that. There's some good graphs or presentation pages that you have here that connects that messaging correctly. But then the other comments that I had is the logistic solutioning also doesn't come through in the business plan very clearly. So you just need to go back and have a look at that. But lastly, because you're asking for 11 million Kenyan shillings, right? The finance team needs to just go back and look at the return on investment one and the payback period, so that when you're pitching to somebody who must give you money, they must already be convinced how you're going to pay them back, because your solution is very dependent on an investor coming on board.
Yes.
So I think that those are the things that I would put as comments based on after reviewing the business plan, that they were not very clear, those 4 elements. The connection of the solution, it's a great solution and it's necessary. However, there is some logistical part, there's some part, especially the logistics, that needs to be articulated. And then the third part of it to go back to is the investor part. We're requiring funding. How are we going to convince somebody to let go of the money based on what they will see as what will come back to them?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, any more questions from the judges, or should we continue on to you?
I have another question. What are the problems also besides the ones that have been highlighted that you can see in your journey, and issues you think you could have due to both internal or due to competitors in the market. Let me know if my question is clear.
No, not quite, pardon.
Okay, sorry. So I'm saying, what problems can you see in your journey? Have you thought of some obstacles that can stop your company, your journey into succeeding? Is it clear?
Basically, he's asking what are the threats to the survival or viability of this business?
Faith, I think you're muted. Can they hear us?
Hello, let me take the question. I think she's having some technical problems. So the first problem I think we might face is trust from the end of the consumption and trusting these vendors, since you're saying it's the end of the pyramid vendors. So for them to trust that we are going to deliver quality goods from these mama mbogas is something we'll have to work very hard on. Then on the side of fund financing, we already have Safaricom doing that in Kenya. They recently started doing that. So as a company starting a startup company and convincing people that we can also deliver the same as Safaricom do is also going to be a challenge, and also maybe the default cases. But we have an operational plan for that.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Paulo. Sorry.
Just one quick question. Because I'm not as familiar with the market. So what's the percentage? I mean, more or less, I'm not asking for precise numbers, of people that have smartphones
In Kenya?
Yep.
So from the recent research, it was at 94, but it declined to 89 or 90. Yeah, it recently declined.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Most definitely.
Okay, perfect. My question is, and I know Just will probably be thinking the same thing. What is your plan if you do not get this Jenga Boss funding, right? Supposing your team is not chosen, what is the plan to get started? Is there a plan B if plan A, because that is what being a founder is about, if plan A does not work, what is your plan B on still doing this and getting this moving?
Okay, I would take that. Sorry, I had some technical issues. So for us as a team, we thought it would be really wise that we get to realign ourselves, identify the potholes that we will be told, and then fill them, and then pitch to other investors as well, so that we can actually realize this and bring this dream into a reality.
And then I think also just for the understanding of the judges, this will be the last question. For the understanding of the judges, what equity are you talking about for this amount? I know there's also a mix of debt that you mentioned. So just for their understanding, you can just highlight that a bit.
Yes, I'll take that as the CFO. So out of the 11 million, we are looking at having 5 million in equity and 6 million in debt. Hello, I don't know if that answers the question.
Yes, that answers, that covers the question. I just wanted them to be aware of that split. Okay.
Okay, great. So now what we'll be doing is moving on to team 2, which I'll be sharing the screen for. So Faith, if you can stop sharing the screen, that'd be great. And we will be having team 2, which would be Stephanie. Give me a second to get this up. Oh my gosh. Give me a second to get this up. Okay, please bear with me as I bring this up as of right now. So, convenience. Okay. Please bear with me. Okay, great. Okay. Sorry about the wait, everyone. Okay. This should be fine. Okay, fantastic. All right, you're all ready to go, Stephanie. And let me get the timer up. All right, and start.
Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. I'm Stephanie and I'll be presenting for team 2. So Simu Afya is our solution. Next slide. So the problem here that was identified was 3 things. That is the ability to buy a smartphone of choice when needed. Also upgrading from a feature phone, those are the 2G phones, to a smartphone affordably, and access to comprehensive, quality and affordable maternal health care by women. So our solution is to offer women financed smartphone payable through initial cash deposit and subsequent monthly installments, and also to partner with an insurance provider to provide affordable health insurance cover for maternal health needs. And so why us? Next slide. So one is we intend to offer a variety of phones that are affordable to our clients, and also through partnership to offer the insurance package that we intend to offer. We'll avail the phones both on online platforms through last mile distribution networks and also physically for walk-in clients. We also are going to keep up with market trends, and also we're going to conveniently update our clients on their disbursements and payments for their phones. We're going to have an effective customer care unit to take in their queries, and also we intend to provide a cover that is acceptable to clients of the Islam faith. Next slide. So our target market is women aged 18 to 55 years who live and work in Nairobi County initially, and we target the low and middle income women. The reason is because the larger population of women in this age in the country are within that bracket, and maternal health insurance usually applies for women within that age bracket. And also Nairobi is an economic hub with many opportunities and necessary infrastructure for our business model. Next slide. So our vision is to see women financially empowered and achieve the highest standard of maternal and neonatal health care. And then also by 2025, we target to have sold smartphones to over 15,000 women and enroll 30% of that number to our insurance cover. Next slide. So that is our financial projection, and our profit points are going to be profit on buying the price of the profit from buying the phones, also the interest charged on monthly installments, and 10% commissions on insurance cover bought and other service referrals from our partners. Next slide. So our potential partnerships is AAR Insurance and also public and private hospitals in Nairobi. Then we have the last mile distributor being Angaza, because they have an online e-commerce platform, and also women circles and financing agencies to be able to partner to give better products to women and also introduce micro products to our potential market. Next slide. So that is our team, and presently we have me and then our CBDO and our CMO. Our CFO will be joining us shortly, and our MD unfortunately has not been able to join us. Next slide. So the ask currently is 6.5 million Kenyan shillings, which is 50% of the investment required within 1 year of running the business. The total amount is 13 million Kenyan shillings. Thank you, and that will be all.
Let's open up the stage for questions that people may have. So judges.
Hi, I have questions, a lot of them actually. I want to understand, it looks like the Kenyan market is smartphone a need on scale of preference, especially by this bracket of women. Let me explain what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Are we saying that the average Kenyan woman on her scale of priority, she wants to get a smartphone more than anything?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the market. That's okay. I just wanted to be sure because it looks like solution 1, smartphone, solution 2, smartphone. So it must be a need in that market.
Oh, I think it's the conversion from people who use 2G handsets to 4G handsets. And then also we are targeting now those who, yes, they do have smartphones, but they also want to affordably upgrade the gadgets that they have, that so that they're able to get, better features on the smartphone options that are available in the market. Yes.
Okay. It's a bit unsettling that that's when I say major need, scale of preference. Will a woman want to buy a phone over every other thing? That's just me thinking about it. But it's okay since you say it's a need in that market. I think that's my major concern. Just to be sure that this product or this business will fly. If that's a need, that's good.
Any more questions from the judges?
Hi. Yes, thank you for your presentation. Same question I asked before. What are the threats to your plan?
Thank you. So I think the first threat to the plan would be that there are other competitors already considering the market. Aforementioned is Safaricom, and it's on 2 angles that they actually are launching a partnership with KCB, and also they have their own product that they will be offering as a solo product, and then also they're in the insurance market. So this is a market that has bigger companies which are well established that intend to get into. And then also in terms of insurance, the challenge would be how are we able to formulate an affordable package, because now when you start considering cost in insurance, you start compromising on the kind of limit that that insurance is going to offer the client. So just being able to come up with something that is of quality, it's convenient in terms of how it can be used, but also it is affordable to the women within this particular bracket. Yes, and also convincing women to take up an insurance of which the penetration in this part of the world is a bit low. Yeah.
Follow up on the question. So are you asking the insurance company to come up with like a customized plan?
Yes, what our initial plan is to actually work via agency with an insurance company and to get them to underwrite for us a package that is suitable for the target client. That's our initial plan. But hopefully in future, we intend to scale to have our own underwriter so that we are able now to actually run 2 lines of business, whereby we are even now offering, these women who are taking up our devices, we're able to offer them an insurance package that we ourselves have come up with.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Same exciting to see us solve problems of the continent. The comments I made for the previous one will apply here, but I have a question that I want to ask, and this one is to understand the market.
Okay.
I hear the group that we are targeting, but how big is this group in the context of Kenya, one, and also what is the market share you intend to have of this group, just so that one is able to understand the numbers at the end as they were presented.
Also, just to be clear, are you asking in terms of estimates, the market number, the women that we are talking about?
Yeah, I take it that it's just for context to understand. So one is trying to understand what is the population of that group you have,
Okay.
one, and then what
Okay.
is your intended market share of that in relation to the
Okay.
revenue that has been projected. That's why I want to understand for clarity on.
So by the, oh, sorry. Okay. So by the recent census, currently we have about 10.6 million women who are using phones. It wasn't categorized specifically whether it's feature phones or smartphones. And I had mentioned that by 2025, we intend to at least have sold phones to 15,000 women since we're just starting out. And then also in terms of smartphone users, just the previous statistic that my colleague gave, smartphone users, the percentage of the phone usage in Kenya, women come in at about 86%. For us, I think for us, the numbers is based on what we are expecting to sell per year. And eventually within 5 years, which I have mentioned is 15,000 phones sale, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Kindly, thank you.
I think for me, number one, just keep track of them. Number one, what is your current valuation at, right? And how did you come to that number? Number two, you said 13 million. What is the allocation like that looking for or looking towards, right? Are you saying that the full 13 million will be equity, or have you mixed in anything else in there as well? And then three, right? You're projecting 15,000 phones, and then I looked at your numbers. So 50. I think for me, I'm trying to put the numbers, the costs, and then the possible revenues from 15,000 phones, and then collate that with the graph you showed. And there's I don't know, maybe it's in my mind, there's a small mismatch. And then also, have you spoken to insurance or an insurance partner, right, to know what sort of commissions they will be giving you, right? Or what revenues you can expect from that. Basically, I'm asking for the assumptions behind your numbers and better understanding of your valuation.
Okay. In terms of, I'll start with the insurance, yeah. I did talk to an agent and they say that the commissions given per cover sold, it's usually fixed. So if it's a medical cover, usually if we partner with an insurance to sell a cover that they've underwritten, we'll be working as an agency, and the cost is going to be 10% commission for every cover that is sold. And then now when it comes to the phones, well, I would admit that we did have a bit of a challenge to try to estimate how much, or rather how many phones we'd be able to sell, at least within a month. We were working with a monthly sellout of the first year of about 50 phones, since we haven't yet, there are multiple retailers. Actually, I forgot to mention that the other threat is that there are multiple phone retailers and vendors who all have a share in the market, both on the online and physical store platform. So we put it at 50, that's why it translated to 15,000. And then a lot of the costing also came in terms of operational costs and setting up. Since we chose Nairobi to be our place of operations, a huge chunk was on the fixed costs, basically infrastructural costs, that is office space and being able to lease it, and then also just getting the the other structural infrastructures like our website, and being able to partner with our last mile distributor, because we're also going into the e-commerce space. So a lot of that cost was coming in the operational cost aspect of it. We're still trying to just work out the numbers and match what we are asking for and what we have. And finally, 50% is equity. The rest of the amount we intend to raise through crowdfunding, or even getting maybe debt, a bit of debt financing, about 20%, and then just plowing back the capital that we get from our proceeds in the business. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope that answered your question, Edith, in regards to the financing and valuation of the company. So what we'll do now is move on to team 3. So I'm going to stop sharing and allow team 3 to share. So Caroline, if you're here, or whoever is presenting from team 3, if you'd like to start sharing your screen, and I will get my timer ready for you to start. So let me know when you're ready and I'll start the timer.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So this is Team Habana Haga, Team 3. So it means little by little. This is because we want to offer a helping hand to our young female entrepreneurs, ensuring they grow in small sustainable steps by maximizing their capital through offering device financing and business knowledge. So the problem that we, from our research, we found out that our young entrepreneurs, they have great ideas, but they have limited budget, but they still have enough starting capital to start a business. But because it is limited, they cannot afford to make mistakes, which they invariably make because they have knowledge gaps and limited experience. Okay, we also found out that they have the desire to know that what is needed to execute their idea, but learning about business, it can be a little bit expensive and it sometimes requires a lot of time. So this is where Habana Haba comes in. So we have a solution where our entrepreneurs can subscribe to a vast knowledge base, that has both general and personalized help in starting, growing, and maintain their business. We offer subsidized initial capital investment by offering financing on devices. This is where, if you need an ETR machine for you to start a proper business, we can help you acquire that, and you pay us slowly by slowly, and also accelerating business growth by creating synergies among subscribers, where they can have sourcing, and smaller supply chains through the application. Also, it helps them increase their knowledge, skills, and confidence in strategic planning and other business areas. So why are different? Why are they different? Because we are focusing on women and women-led enterprises, and we have a holistic approach to the market to enable purchase of these products. And we also offer training, because most of them shy away from such because of they don't know how to use them. They don't know how to use an ETR. So why this idea? It is because the business model is simple, and it might not be revolutionary, but it meets the need in the market. And the team has women, so we understand women problems because we're focusing on our women. So also why they would pay for us is because we're affordable, we'll be easily accessible considering they're online. We're creating an entrepreneurs network that can help each other, and we help them grow their businesses, and we offer a variety of devices. Unlike when we talk about Safaricom, who are just focusing probably on phones and phone penetration. So we go into other business, software, help them acquire softwares and stuff like that. Also, we have low interest rates on these items that we're purchasing for them. So our target market is young female starting age entrepreneurs in Kenya around ages 18 to 35, and they have been saving in order to start a business, or they have been given capital in order to probably begin a business. So our vision is to create a better everyday life for entrepreneurs, where we're empowering this woman by creating a deep knowledge base as well as synergistic marketplace. Our impact will be to increase income for women, independence for women, and reduce social issues among young women. So we intend to generate revenue through the device sales, the interest that is going to be charged, and through subscription. So from our financials, you can see that we intend to have from our financials, you can see in the first year, we're intending to have a gross profit of almost 15%, and the next year, 27%. So when you look at our year-on-year growth, we are promising almost over 200%, growth rate for this business, and which we are planning to maintain. So our potential partners are device vendors, debt collectors, banks, content creators, and we have our able team. They have backgrounds, we have connections in these fields that can be able to leverage on to implement this idea. So our ask is 50 million shillings, which we want to ask in phases, or we're going to raise it in phases. For 10% of our company, we are asking for 20 million. And also we want one of our investors to be a board of directors. We want to introduction to our potential business partners and mentorship. So, this is an appendix in case, so the presentation is also, we have a small demo. So I hope we have time. So this is a platform that we have been trying to figure it out. So our application, we're planning on, our entrepreneurs can see how much they've, the devices they've taken and how much they're remaining to pay, what they have, the amounts paid and the balance they supposed to have, and it shows the due date.
Caroline, that is your time. That was a fantastic presentation. So what we'll do now is move on to the questions and feedback. So if you want to bring it back to your presentation slides, just in case any of the judges want you to refer to that. But yes, we'll now move on to the judges' Q&A and feedback. So what we'll do is allocate 10 minutes for this. So I'll put the timer on. And judges, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.
So I want to say this was a very fantastic presentation, very detailed, and I find their solution so viable. And I hope it's just because I'm very passionate about entrepreneurs. My challenge here in all of this is, how do you hope, what's your plan for marketing? Because what you're about to do is create a knowledge hub for entrepreneurs, and there are so many of it across the continent, in fact, across the world. What's your plan to deepen your market penetration of this fantastic solution? What plans also do you have to protect everything you have created here today?
Kindly repeat the second question.
What plans do you have to protect your intellectual property, especially when you begin to collect content from other content creators, so your members or the people who you have as customers can have access to? What plans do you have to protect those people's intellectual property? Is there also any sort of payment that goes to those who give content on your platform? Because I noticed that you talked about your revenue, there was nothing about the content creators in form of, by way of partners.
Okay, sorry for that, Miss. But to answer first, we are intending the marketing person will come in and answer the marketing question. So, but for our platform, we intend to have strong security for the platform. Also, we intend to retain as much as of our engineers and our team to ensure that our IP is protected. We also will be working with NDA agreements and agreements for these purposes. We also intend to acquire necessary trademark that we need. We'll also patent processes and software where need be. Yes. Mary Josephine on marketing can respond to that.
Hello, Mary. If you can continue with the question, if possible.
The question is, what's your marketing plan for your solution? How do you hope to deepen your market penetration? Why should people leave established platforms where they have access to this information, or even free platforms, to come be on your platform? and as well as purchase your mobile phone. What exactly are you bringing to the table? Because as much as you have a fantastic business solution, what's the value proposition in the eyes of the end user? Because that's what gets them to buy.
Right. Is there anyone from Team 3 who can answer that question by any chance? Because I don't think Mary can hear us right now.
If probably she's not on the call, so we'll introduce our application, probably using penetration, pricing. We have set ourselves with price, also extensive marketing, and expand distribution in order to increase our revenues and growth. I hope that answers part of it.
Okay, I can add on that. So in the aspect of marketing, we realize that the age group we are targeting, most of them are very active in social media and online platforms. So we'll take advantage of their presence on the social media platforms to use it as marketing. And we can also use people, how do I call them? People who will be advertising. Okay, we were thinking of giving out flyers maybe, and status that are used within the CBD. It's more effective since they are the ones, they attract crowds and people will be interested to know what are they talking about.
Okay, thank you. My recommendation would be to create a marketing plan for at least 3 months, 3 to 6 months. 3 months is fair, and you can launch them in phases so that once people begin to embrace solution, you don't just fizzle out. So that means you're going to have to create a proper one and have a team sit upon the implementation of this one after the other.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Perfect. Okay. I think now for me, where I literally, when I saw the ask, I gasped for a minute, because you're saying basically $500,000 for 10% is what I got. Or was it either way, it's like about, what you're essentially saying is that you believe your company as at now is worth $2 million. Because normally when investment is done, it's done on the assumption of what your current valuation is, right? So you're telling me without testing an MVP, right? Without having a minimum viable product, without having any sort of pilot or thing running, without having customers, a list of customers that you're saying are ready to buy X amount, or any sort of traction that you can show us, you're saying it's worth $2 million today. That's my question, or statement, or concern.
Yes, we do believe we have an amazing product, and it can, make a killing in the market, considering the fact that, offering a variety of devices. The ask, 50 million, is for the entire period, for the entire year. So for us to start, probably we are requesting for around 10 million shillings to be able to implement our first phase of our project. So we valued, and we saw, for us to be able to grow this idea even outside Kenya, outside Nairobi, we need that capital. And we were calculating, and we went over and over, and we thought our ask was crazy, but our figures kept sticking to that. So, but for 10%, for 10 million shillings for our first phase of our project.
So it's 10% for 10 million shillings?
Yes.
Okay, I think your slide said something else. But what I would suggest again is to keep in mind that even if you're saying 10 million shillings for 10%, it means you're saying, and that's what valuation is, you're saying today we are worth $1 million either way, right? And so if you're saying things like that, then it should either mean you have current traction that is, because valuation is never on the basis of what you hope to be in the future, right? You get to your future valuation when you get to it in the future, right? But as at right now, a team that has been working together for 2 months, has a good idea, and I'm not discounting the idea, but there's no MVP, no traction, no unless I'm unaware of MOUs that have been signed and things like that, then that's not really adding up. I have no issue with your costs. I have an issue with the percentage you're saying, the 10%. It's not adding up to where you are today, unless there's traction that I don't know about.
So Edith, I think we should solve it this way. I also like to encourage startups to value their business the way they deem fit, right? And this is to prevent a lot of things I don't want to go into here.
Oh, you're muted, Han.
Differently.
Yeah.
Or just to solve the issue you raised about them not having a minimum viable product. So can you guys go back to the drawing board and start by creating the content and having it hosted somewhere on your SharePoint or on your portal, so you have an array or a bouquet of solutions already existing that whoever wants to invest in your company can already see clearly you have all of them hosted. They just need to see that what you need is to put them into a proper infrastructure, proper tech infrastructure, and that's what they can see that you want to use the money for. But you already have those products. You already have partnerships with the people who are going to bring them. You already have partnership with the phone companies. Seal all of these things and then create your content so that we know is the actual infrastructure that is left, that people will now say, okay, based on, you know why the evaluation may be okay, we are in the knowledge economy. In 2021, up until this end of this decade, there's going to be a humongous quest for knowledge across the world. And any entrepreneur who is positioning themselves to do this, we obviously, the coaching industry or the knowledge industry is estimated to be valued at 12 times what, up to 10 times what it is right now. It's at $12 trillion now. And it's valued to increase by 10 times. So it's not a no-brainer for them to estimate that their business is going to be valued at XYZ amount. But I want to see products. I want to see them ready. So have like a store. Even if it's Shopify you want to do, or online store or website, whatever it is, start with an MVP, like Edith said, so that we can see you have something, and then we can say, we can validate your valuation. That's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's why we need a mentor.
Thank you so much, Caroline. If you will stop sharing, that'd be great. So what we are now going to go on to right now is the testimonials. So basically, we're going to have a few of the participants from the teams to basically talk about their experience so far on the Jenga Boss program so far. So firstly, we would start off with Faith, who will talk about her MD experience so far. So Faith, if you could just give us a 1-minute explanation of your experience so far, that would be fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I'd like to say that this has been an amazing experience for me as a person, and I believe everyone else would attest to this. It's been a series of learning, unlearning, and also relearning. It has actually helped to reveal some parts of me that I did not know would exist, and I am really glad for the stretch that it took, for the nights that we spent doing research in this program. We are very glad, because had we not taken this, we would not be the people that we are today. And to end, I would say this, that there were two roads diverging into the woods. We took the one less traveled, and that has made the difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faith. Next, we'll be hearing from Stephanie Audi, who will be talking about her COO journey. So Stephanie.
Okay. As you've heard, my name is Stephanie. I don't know why my video is not showing. Is it a setting?
It's on right now, so you should be all set to go. Let's turn it back on. Great, you're there. Sorted.
Okay, great. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, right. So my name is Stephanie, COO Team 2. And for me, I have to say this has been an invaluable experience. And for me, it's the learning, the mentorship, and even the mistakes that have been made, which has really formulated, it's opened my mind to more opportunities. It's gotten me out of my comfort zone. It's pushed me out of limits that, I'd placed on myself. And I've just gotten the opportunity to explore what's out there. The entrepreneurial world is new for me, and I'm so glad that I got to try it out with Arielle for Africa. They've been very facilitatory and kind, and just mentoring us through the journey, and just being able to connect to people who are there in the world itself and they're making it, and just being able to associate with greatness. For me, that is something that I'll definitely never take for granted. And working with an amazing team of talented individuals, both mentors and even my teammates. So I'm very grateful and very thankful for this experience. I definitely look forward to now stepping out in faith and trying out the things that we've invested our time, effort, and emotion into. And yeah, I know that the future can only be better than what it is today. So I'm honored and grateful to be here today. Thank you so much, Arielle. Thank you so much, our mentors. Thank you so much, judges. We are honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, next we'll be hearing from Valerie, who will, I'm not sure if she's in the chat right now. Let me quickly have a check. Hi, Valerie.
Yes. Hi.
Great. So Valerie, basically tell us about your experience so far and anything you've learned. You might want to flip your screen.
Pardon?
You might want to turn your camera around. Okay, great.
Okay. So hi, I'm Valerie. Valerie Namarome. I was in the CMO class, and it was really insightful for me. I'm already in the market, so I think these were just stairs to now getting to maybe where someone would want to be, and it was really breathtaking for me. I wouldn't miss a class for the marketing course that we were taking. And I'm really grateful to also my teammates who are also team players and whatever.
You've muted yourself. Okay.
And it has been really good along the way. So thank you so much even for this platform. And thank you for whatever I've learned, putting them into action. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Next, we'll be hearing from Michelle. We'll talk about her CFO journey. So Michelle, please give us a little insight about your journey during the Jenga Boss program.
Okay, hi everyone. So I joined the Arielle program with the objective of basically getting hands-on experience in developing a viable business idea, particularly from a founder's perspective, where one is faced with growing pains, such as limited resources, finding the ideal product market fit, and building strong teams to fully capitalize on the opportunity before us. And so after this, what I would say a 2-month duration, I'm happy to report that notwithstanding today's outcome, I actually feel like a diamond, which is usually under so much pressure as it develops. But the end result is a bright and shiny stone, and I feel empowered to take on the next stage. So for me, my biggest takeaway from, looking at it from a CFO's perspective, from the Arielle course has been just uncovering the aspects of what we call the next generation CFO, who basically acts not only as a controller in as far as optimal resource allocation is concerned, but also integrates various non-financial elements in order to effectively partner with the different business units and delivers value to all the stakeholders. So I'm really excited to see how all the teams follow through after this program and the amazing things that they'll accomplish. I wish the very best of luck to everyone, and my gratitude to the Arielle team. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much for sharing that. And last but not least, we'll have Humphrey, who will be talking about his CBDO journey during the Jenga Boss program. So Humphrey, take the stage.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
My name is, I hope you can see me okay.
Yes,
Thank you so much. My name is Humphrey Rop. I'm from Team 1. I was their CBDO, and wow, that's the feeling that I can describe after all this journey that I've come from. Let me say that life is a journey. It begins from birth until the moment you die. And life as a journey, it's all about gaining knowledge and also getting to do something that is so meaningful to your life, especially making social impact. So I'm grateful that last month, after I applied for the Jenga Boss program, they saw the potential in me and they decided to invest a seed in me. And that was to become a CBDO. What I like about the CBDO role is the fact that it's all about growth, business growth, and also life is also a journey, but it has to be with growth. And that's why today I'd like to be grateful to Arielle Africa for giving me this opportunity to grow. And also I'll be grateful to their team. First of all, Ferouz for being a wonderful mentor, a wonderful teacher, and also someone who was so understanding, made life easy for us by giving us simplified lectures, because before then I had little knowledge on businesses apart from the little courses that I had done. And from that, it was all about getting the sufficient knowledge to really develop my own business, become a founder, work with a team, and also surely be able to accomplish our goals and missions as a team. I also like to thank Edith and Blessings for also being with us, also helping us through the journey. And today, as I graduate, I'm so grateful. I'm so knowledgeable. I'm so happy, and all the best to the team that wins. And as for today, I think whatever seed you invested in me, you're going to see the results in future. So thank you so much.
Thanks